Hello, English learners, and welcome. I'm your host, Paul. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Excited to chat about English learning today. Today, we are plunging into this really incredible guide. It promises to basically revolutionize your English speaking in just 30 days. Our mission? Well, it's to arm you with strategies to genuinely take your English to the next level. Push past those plateaus and really speak with confidence.
Yeah, it sounds ambitious, doesn't it? But the source material for this deep dive, it really makes a compelling case. Rapid progress. It reassures you that your English can improve, maybe faster than you'd think. So we're going to pull out the most impactful, actionable insights. The goal is fluency, sure, but also real confidence and getting there quickly. By the end, you should feel that shift, a real, tangible difference.
Okay, let's dive in. Starting at the most fundamental level, your mind. The guide insists pretty strongly, actually, that before we even touch vocab or grammar, we have to prepare our minds. Set the stage for success. Why start there? What's the thinking behind putting mindset absolutely first?
It's all about efficiency, really.
Yeah.
Priming the brain. Think of it like this. If your mind's full of fear or self-doubt, every new word feels like lifting something heavy.
Okay.
It's a struggle. But with a ready mind, an open mind, learning feels lighter, faster, almost, well, easier. Setting your mind for success just means you truly believe significant improvement is possible, and quickly. It means seeing mistakes not as, failures, but just data, learning moments, and understanding that speaking English, it's about connecting, communicating, not about being perfect. Nobody is.
Right. And the guide suggests this powerful day one mantra. It really struck me. I am not afraid to speak. I will learn from my mistakes. Every word I speak makes me better.
It's not just positive thinking, is it? The source breaks it down. 3 critical parts. Seems like there's some real psychology there. Absolutely. The first part hits that big barrier, fear of mistakes. The source points out so many learners hold back. They're just terrified of saying something wrong. But here's the thing. Nobody speaks perfectly. Not even native speakers. Believe me, we all stumble. And actually, the more you just speak consistently, the faster your brain adapts to those mistakes. They just start to fade away. They self-correct.
So it's about jumping in, basically, even if it feels messy at first. And the second part, that really shifts how you see English itself.
Precisely. Thinking of English as a tool, not some kind of test. A lot of us, maybe from school, we see language as something to be graded. That triggers anxiety, right? Fear of failing. But this guide reframes it. English is a bridge, connects you to people, ideas, opportunities. When you see it like that as a tool for connection, well, it becomes exciting, empowering, not stressful. Your mindset shifts from fixed to growth.
That reframe feels huge, liberating even.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the third piece?
That's about being positive and patient. Look, 30 days means significant improvement, yeah. Noticeable strides, not overnight perfection. The goal is speaking much better, feeling more confident, and crucially, knowing how to keep improving after that month. So, that positive, patient attitude, that's your fuel, keeps you going when things feel tough.
And to really lock this mindset in, the guide suggests this mirror exercise for day one. You stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say, I can speak English. I am learning every day. I am getting better. Who? Might feel a bit strange at first, talking to yourself like that, but the source says your brain listens. That consistency, it genuinely builds confidence. A small act, but maybe a powerful start. Okay, mind is wired for success. Fear is starting to shrink. Where next? The guide is really clear. The next crucial step is creating a concrete 30-day English speaking plan, a blueprint. Because without a plan, motivation can just fizzle out, right? You don't know what to do each day.
Exactly. A good plan isn't just a nice to have, it's your GPS. Indispensable. The source outlines the key parts. First, divide the 30 days into 4 weeks. Makes it manageable. Each week it's a special focus. Like week 1, maybe simple speaking, listening. Week 2, building vocabulary, pronunciation practice. Week 3 could be longer sentences, expressing ideas. Week 4, really focusing on real conversations with people. This avoids overwhelm. It guides you.
So it's progressive, a pathway, not just a chunk of time.
Exactly right. Second, you need a daily routine. Non-negotiable. Carve out time every day for speaking practice. Talk aloud to yourself, grab a friend, use an app, whatever works. Also, dedicated listening time. To really internalize the sounds, the flow. And vocabulary practice, maybe 5-10 new words or phrases a day, and actually use them in sentences. The guide really hammers this home. Consistency is everything, even 15-20 minutes daily. It's the regularity that counts, builds the habit.
And how do you know it's working? How do you measure that consistency?
Good question. That's the third point. Set clear, measurable goals. Not vague wishes like get better. Small, achievable daily things like
Hmm.
day 1, speak English for 5 minutes straight. Day 7, use 50 new words actively. Day 15, hold a 10-minute chat. Day 30, speak confidently for 30 minutes. See, it lets you see your progress. That's a huge motivator. Fourth, track it. Keep a notebook. Use your phone. Log what you did, how long you spoke, new words, challenges. Self-monitoring keeps you honest. And finally, be flexible, but stay consistent. If you miss a day, it happens. Don't beat yourself up. Just start again the next day. The main thing is to keep going, every day, even just a little bit. This plan, it's your map, your guide through the journey.
Okay, mindset primed, roadmap in hand. What's the fuel for this engine? The guide says it's vocabulary. Building that word arsenal that really works for you makes sense. Without the right words, it's hard to express yourself clearly, right?
You nailed it. And the good news, it's not about learning thousands of obscure words immediately. The source wisely focuses on the right words, words you can actually use every day. High-frequency stuff, practical. It lays out simple steps to build this useful vocab in 30 days.
Okay, what are those steps? How do you build vocab efficiently?
First, focus on useful words and phrases for daily life. Think beyond single words, common phrases, things you hear all the time. Greetings, food, common actions, places you go. The guide suggests starting with topics you actually find interesting. Makes learning less of a chore, more fun, helps it stick. Second, use topic-based learning. Maybe dedicate each week to a theme, like week 1, family, friends, week 2, food, cooking, week 3, travel, week 4, work, hobbies, something like that. This connects words to real situations, helps your brain make links, easier recall.
Right, so it's context, not just random lists, much more practical.
Exactly. Third, don't just learn words alone. Use them in simple sentences right away. Make phrases like, I like pizza, or where is the station? And this is chaos. Say them out loud. Trains your brain to use them naturally. Fourth, keep a vocabulary notebook, your personal dictionary. Write down new words, meanings, example sentences that make sense to you, and review it often. Test yourself. And fifth, make a real effort to use your new words every day. Talk about your day using them. Plan your evening. Describe what you see. Actively integrate them.
Yeah, that really reinforces the idea. Vocabulary learning isn't just memorizing, it's about using words in real conversation, making them yours. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. The source calls this next one maybe the best way to improve speaking. Daily listening. Why is just listening so crucial for actually speaking better? Seems a bit counterintuitive at first.
But listening is like the hidden foundation of fluency. It's how your brain soaks up the real sound of English. The rhythm, the intonation, how native speakers connect words. You're not just hearing words, you're absorbing the music of the language. Where the stress falls, the ups and downs in pitch. It gives you the auditory blueprint you need to produce natural speech yourself. And the guide offers easy ways to practice listening daily. First, find English stuff you actually like. English songs you enjoy, short podcasts for learners, YouTube videos, maybe movies or shows. Use subtitles at first if you need to. If you enjoy it, you'll stick with it. Consistency becomes easier.
Right, engagement over endurance. Makes sense.
Totally. Second, focus on understanding the main idea. Don't obsess over every single word. If someone talks about their trip to the market, just try to get that main point they went shopping for food, even if you miss a few words. This builds real-time understanding. Third, listen actively. Don't just let it wash over you. Listen with purpose. Ask yourself, what's the main point here? Any new words or phrases? How do they say things fast, slow? What's the tone? Fourth, use short listening sessions. Daily, even 10 or 15 minutes, maybe on your commute or before bed. Focused listening makes a big difference. And fifth, try repeated listening. Listen to the same short audio clip multiple times. First time for the gist. Second time, maybe catch new words or details. Third time, maybe even try repeating some sentences out loud, mimicking the speaker. Deepens understanding.
Wow, yeah. You can really see how tuning your ear helps you speak more naturally, builds that foundation for effortless speech. Okay, next up, the source introduces something it calls a very powerful and fun way to improve speaking. Shadowing. So shadowing, what exactly is that and why is it supposed to be so good?
Shadowing is pretty literal, actually. You listen to a short English sentence or phrase, and you immediately repeat it out loud. But you're not just echoing. You're trying to copy everything, the sounds, the rhythm, the speed, right after the speaker. It's like you're their linguistic shadow following them in real time. And it's super helpful because, well, it kind of bypasses your old pronunciation habits from your native language. It forces your mouth and tongue to make the English sounds accurately. That improves pronunciation, the individual sounds. But maybe even more importantly, it trains your brain for the rhythm, the intonation, the musicality of English, the natural flow. Doing this consistently, it builds huge speaking confidence and that muscle memory for your mouth.
Sounds like a proper workout for your speaking muscles. Okay, how do you actually do it? How do you practice shadowing day to day?
The guide breaks it down simply. First, pick a short audio clip, a sentence, maybe a bit of dialogue from a podcast or video. Even an app sometimes has this. Second, listen really carefully. Pay attention to their tone, speed, which words they stress. Third, play it again, but this time, speak right after them. Immediately, try to match their sounds, their pace, their rhythm as closely as you can. And fourth, repeat that same clip several times until it feels more comfortable, more natural. You can start small, maybe 5–10 minutes a day. Build up as you get better. And a couple of tips. Don't stress about perfection, especially at first. Just try. Focus on copying the intonation, the ups and downs. That's key for sounding natural. If you need to, use videos with subtitles first just to understand. But the main point of shadowing is the sound, the mimicry. The source calls it exercising your speaking muscles every day. And it's true. The more you do it, the stronger and more automatic your English speaking becomes.
Okay, let's tackle something common. Lots of learners read English, think in English, but quietly. The source is really emphatic here. To truly master speaking, you have to actually say the words out loud, even if you're alone. Seems obvious, but maybe easily missed.
Oh, it's absolutely critical. Speaking out loud is non-negotiable. It physically trains your mouth, your tongue, your vocal cords to make the English sounds. This builds neural pathways, muscle memory. It's not just a phrase. Your brain literally rewires itself to make these sounds automatically. Over time, that makes your speech faster, more natural, less effortful.
So how can you weave this speaking out loud thing into daily life? Especially if there's no one to talk to right then.
Yeah, the guide has some great low-pressure ideas. First, just talk to yourself. I know it feels weird at first. I used to narrate my cooking when learning French. But seriously, describe what you're doing, what you're thinking. Simple stuff. I'm making tea now. It's a nice day. I will practice English for 20 minutes. It builds comfort, lowers the awkwardness barrier. Second, describe your surroundings. Look around the room, out the window. Name things, actions. The book is read. The bus is coming. Integrates practice right into your environment.
That's clever, makes it less of a task and more just part of your day.
Exactly. Third, plan your day out loud. In English. Just say your tasks. Okay, first I need to check emails. Then I have a meeting at 10. After work, I'll go for a run. Train your brain to think in English actively. Fourth, obviously, find language partners. Use those apps or websites. Real conversations are gold. And fifth, record yourself. Use your phone, then listen back. It can be cringy at first, maybe, but it's so powerful for self-assessment. You hear what others hear, track your progress. Key tips here. Don't worry about mistakes. Seriously, embrace them. Start with short sentences if you need to. Build up. Aim for maybe 15 to 30 minutes of this active, out loud practice daily, and the source says it again. The more you speak, the faster you will improve. It's that simple.
All right, so you're speaking out loud daily. Now let's zoom in on two really vital things. Pronunciation and fluency. What exactly do these mean, and why are they so important for being understood?
Yeah, these are really key. Pronunciation, that's simply how you say English, sounds and words. Good pronunciation means people understand you easily. Fluency. That's about how smoothly your speech flows, speaking without too many awkward pauses or hesitations, words connecting naturally, like normal conversation. The source gives practical tips for both. First, maybe counterintuitively, speak slowly and clearly at the beginning. It's not a race. Focus on getting the sounds right first. Speed comes naturally later as you get comfortable. Second, learn the common English sounds, especially ones that might be different from your native language, like the sounds think versus the, or maybe R and L. Focused practice on those tricky bits helps a lot.
Right, targeting those specific sound challenges. Makes sense.
Exactly. Third, pay attention to word stress and sentence stress. In English, some syllables in a word are stronger, like important, not important. And in sentences, we stress the important words to get the meaning across. Learning that rhythm makes you sound much more natural. Fourth, practice linking words. Native speakers squash words together. What are you doing becomes what you're doing. Want to becomes wanna. Practicing those connections boosts fluency. Fifth, use tongue twisters. Sounds silly maybe, but things like she sells seashells are great workouts for your mouth muscles. Makes articulation sharper. And finally, again, record and listen to yourself. Compare yourself to native speakers. Where are the differences? It helps you spot areas to work on.
It's definitely a process. Refining pronunciation and fluency takes time, takes practice. And like the guide says, don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're just part of learning. Now, something practical. Watching English videos with subtitles is super helpful at first, right, for understanding. But the source highlights this crucial step. gradually using them less, reducing that dependence. Why is that such an important step?
It is a big step, but it's vital because it forces your brain to rely on your ears, not your eyes. It trains you to process spoken English directly without needing to read along. It helps break that habit of constantly translating in your head, which really slows you down. You start building those direct connections between the sounds you hear and their meaning. The guide suggests a clear, step-by-step way to do this. First, start with English subtitles on. This helps you connect the sounds to the written words you're listening and reading together. Second, watch the same video a few times with the subtitles, maybe 2 or 3 times. Make sure you really understand the story, the vocabulary. Third, once you feel comfortable, watch it again, but this time, turn the subtitles off. Rely only on your listening skills. And fourth, maybe start with shorter videos or slightly simpler content. Make that transition feel less daunting.
Yeah, and it's okay if you miss stuff when the subtitles are off, right? The guide says don't get discouraged. Your listening will improve with practice. It's a brave step, but sounds like it pays off. Okay, this feels like we're reaching the peak now. The stage where, as the source says, you really start to shine. Applying all this practice in real-life situations. Why is this jump from practice to real-world use so incredibly important?
This is where it all comes together. This is where the learning sticks. When you actually talk to people, you learn to use English naturally, spontaneously, not just reciting rules. It forces you to think on your feet, respond quickly. That builds processing speed. And honestly, it's the biggest confidence booster there is. You realize, hey, I can do this. People understand me, even if it's not perfect. That feeling empowers you to try more. It's like you can practice swimming strokes on dry land forever, but eventually you got to jump in the pool.
Love that analogy. Okay, so how can you, our listener, actually take that leap? Start using English in the real world.
The source gives some really practical ways in. First, talk to friends or family who speak English. Even if they're learners too. Start simple, low stakes. How was your day? What did you do this weekend? Safe, supportive practice. Second, look for online speaking clubs or language exchange groups. There are tons of websites, apps. Connect with people for video calls, voice chats. Practice with different accents, different styles. Still pretty safe. Third, if you are in an English-speaking place, try talking to strangers. Just brief interactions, ordering coffee, asking for directions. Excuse me, where's the nearest? Simple stuff builds that real-world muscle.
Those small everyday interactions really add up, don't they?
They absolutely do. Fourth, try writing something short in English, an email, a comment, a journal entry, and then read it out loud. This helps bridge that gap between writing and speaking. Warms you up for spontaneous talk. And fifth, use social media. Post a short comment in English, then say it out loud. Low risk, high frequency. And the key tips for these real interactions: don't obsess over mistakes. Most people are friendly, patient, listen carefully, and if you don't understand, just ask, sorry, could you say that again? It's fine. The guide reassures us, every time you speak, you become more confident and fluent. It's a positive feedback loop.
Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's hit the final crucial piece. Staying motivated, keeping that fire lit throughout the 30 days and beyond. It's easy to start strong, but keeping it going, that can be the tricky part.
It really can be. Language learning has its peaks and valleys. You'll have days you feel great, days you feel stuck or tired. Totally normal. But knowing how to keep your motivation high is what ensures you stick with it, even when it feels hard. That's what leads to real, lasting improvement. The source offers ways to keep that motivation strong. The first one is powerful. Remember your why.
Your why, what does that mean exactly?
It means reconnecting regularly with your deepest personal reasons for learning English in the first place. Why did you start? Is it for a better job? To travel freely? To connect with family or make new friends from different cultures? Understand movies without subtitles? Whatever your reason is, keep it vivid in your mind. Remind yourself daily. That core desire is what fuels your energy, your drive, especially on tough days. It's your engine. And the source adds a second vital point for motivation. You absolutely have to celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge your progress.
So we've really covered a lot today. A full blueprint, really. From getting your mindset right, building that 30-day plan, to boosting vocabulary, tuning your ear with listening, sharpening pronunciation with things like shadowing, speaking out loud. And finally, the big one, taking that leap into real-world conversations.
Yeah, and the core message from the source, it really holds true. If you consistently apply these ideas intentionally, your English really can grow faster than you might think. That transformation you're looking for, it's genuinely within your reach.
So thinking about everything we've explored today, here's something for you to consider. What new English skill, no matter how small it seems, will you choose to activate with confidence today?